We're going to do a quick Thanatos tower climb solo. The biggest thing here is he'll be running at a Lord Knight, majority of the time with 140 strength, using an Earth Deleter to keep my SP up as much as I can. And then I'll have two different Bathory armors, with the main tension behind those Bathory armors is to ensure that when you're fighting Odiums, you resist the shadow damage as much as possible. So that's about it, so we'll go ahead and get started with the Thanatos quest. I do not have anything for Thanatos, so we'll be running through the entire dungeon as if we're doing it for the first time. So, first things first, we'll go ahead and go into the dungeon. And for the first two floors, we're just getting to the exit as quickly as possible, because there's nothing to actually do here. If you are doing this for the first time, you might need to register at the front desk, but I've already done that, so we can go ahead and skip it. And then for the second floor, we're just going to the right-hand side of the map. I'm just trying to get some type of decent, perfect, good teleport here. And we'll just run straight to here. We will run to the portal, and then we will talk to the NPC here, which to go to the third tower. Now, for the third tower, you need to go to the bottom left area over here. I'll just use a few skills to run through. Main thing is you need a level 4 weapon on you. My veteran sword applies to that as it's a level 4, so when you talk to this rune device, it'll go ahead and ensure that you get the red key. If you do not have a level 4 weapon equipped, you will not get the key. So very important to bring. We'll go ahead and then run into floor 4. Where in the next floor, we will go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, as there is one more, one more NPC where you have to play the number guessing game to go ahead and get the next key, which I believe is the yellow key. So we'll teleport to the top right area. Perfect. Almost exactly where we want to be. So there's the runic device. Kill off the owls here real quick. And we'll go ahead and play the guessing game. Where there's also a website you can use very specifically to do this. So that's what I'm using now, a website called tubes.org, just because I'm not the best at this game, personally. And then you'll get the yellow key. So from here, we'll just teleport to the bottom left of the screen. Honestly, right here is fine. And then when we get to floor 5, we will need to go to the top left-hand corner of the screen, and then we will have to talk to an NPC, and we'll have to enter in both red key as well as yellow key, the two that we just got. This is where we'll eventually go, is the top right of the map, but this is more where we want to be, at least for now, which is the top left area over here. We will run on over to this area. And since there's quite a few monsters, we will need to kill them off. I'm just going to make sure I kill this whole area. Killing a little bit slow right now since I don't have two-handed quicken going. Let's address that real quick. Get beat up a little bit. Owl Barons might legitimately be one of the worst things to fight inside Thanatos because they don't take too much damage. And they take a long time to kill. And you see I'm having absolutely tons of position lag on top of all that. Okay, so here we'll go to the middle, type in red key, type in yellow key. That will give us a blue key. And now the only other thing that would be a good idea is because we still need the fragments for Thanatos. If we do see a Dolar on this floor for any reason, that guy right there, we're just going to go ahead and kill it. He can be a little annoying because of decreased AGI, but as you might be able to see in the bottom left, and actually the fact I found a second one's also pretty cool, I'll just kind of keep this next fragment. But he drains your SP, it uses decreased AGI on you. He's not very fun to fight against. Okay. And then what we need to do is, now that we have 3 of the keys, we've got a fragment on this floor. I was going to say the next thing is if you can find the HeRO on this floor, you absolutely should. Alright, so we've gotten the fragment of misery as well. So we're actually doing really good when it comes to fragments, and actually this is like the perfect spot to teleport to, is the very top right-hand corner. And the answers for this is going to be first wheel is raise, second wheel is the second option, or lower, third one is vertical, and then the last 2 options will be raise. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. That'll go ahead and ensure we get the green key. And so we have 4 of the 5 necessary keys, and the last one we need is actually just below here, as you can see me running on over. And I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, because I need to then observe, second option, get the black key. Okay, and very good teleport there, we got lucky. And we'll just go ahead and run to the center. So congratulations, we have now run through half of Thanatos. Run to the middle, and this will turn our black key into a black charm stone. So now we'll go ahead and get started with the dungeon. Good thing is I already have 2 fragments here. As you can see, we got agony as well as misery. So we'll get our last 2 fragments that we need over these next 2 floors. And I'm going to start actually buffing myself properly. Make sure we have a veteran sword equipped, but I'm going to make sure it's my one specifically with a Hunterfly card, because we really want to the best of our ability, make sure that we are using a Hunterfly veteran sword with a purple bat doll, because that's what's going to help heal you with a lot of your attacks. To be honest, I'm going to avoid most of the enemies here, because since I'm kind of more or less speedrunning through this, my main goal is to just get through these floors as fast as possible. The only thing I do want to do, though, and so I'll go ahead and kill off a few monsters here real quick, is that we do need to kill this guy over here, the Desparo. So we'll go ahead and kill him as quickly as we can. And I'm making sure I'm using the purple armor when I'm doing this, just because of the fact that it gives me more hit because of the way Draconic Power works on this server. So it's really nice because, as you can see, I'm at like 239 with the bone armor on, but if I swap on over to this, I have 259. So it's very valuable. So okay, so we got through this floor. We still have the big scary bad, which is the Odium to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with the bone armor because Odiums do a lot of damage, and I'm also using a 2-handed sword. So I want to try to make sure to the best of my ability I'm doing okay there. Talk with Jen. So this is a custom NPC on the server, but the awesome thing about Jen is that she'll full heal your HP and SP. So just make sure you've given yourself full buffs real quick. Run through. And then now we have to get the charms. So you're going to see these little light areas where we're just going to talk to, and it's going to help us convert the remaining 4 keys that are not charms yet into charms. So we're just going to kind of run through as quickly as we can, hit this second charm area. Okay, we got our red charm, and these are random, so there's even the possibility I might have to run back at some point because of being unlucky with how they spawn. There's an Odium there to the top, so that's good, because I do need to kill at least one of those. So I'm going to make sure I kill off these monsters here just to make life a little bit easier on myself. And I'm going to do the same thing, as much as I don't like having to fight observations like this. And actually I'll just switch to a purple armor just so I can kill it as quickly as I can, but you can see it heals itself, doesn't take too much damage. It can be an absolute pain in the butt to deal with sometimes. So I'm just trying to get into the Odium and attack it as fast as I can, and trying to catch it before it changes forms. I got really lucky with that, where it didn't even once change form, so with the double AK Bloody Eater, I was able to very quickly kill it, since I had a ghost-type weapon. And now our hope is that I get the 5th. Okay, it looks like I got the 5th charm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got 5 charms. And the other great thing is now we actually have all the fragments. So you are guaranteed that on floors 5 through 8 that we just went through, so we're on floor 9 now, that it's a 100% drop when you kill the Thanatos monsters. Now we're nearing this floor where I'm going to potentially have a Dolar or 3 try to decrease AGI me, so I'm just trying to get out of this place as quickly as I can. Only one of the 4 Dolars on that floor drop a fragment. 3 of them are fakes. And the same thing will happen with the Marrows on the floor we're hitting now. 3 of the 4 Marrows are fakes, and only one of them is the real one that drops the fragment. So at this point, we're really just rushing through the rest of this dungeon until we get to the last floor before the roof, floor 12. Okay, so that was floor 10. Now we'll do the exact same thing with floor 11. Because as you can see, part of what I'm doing is also just trying to not use too much of all my healing items, because if I'm sitting here attacking all the time, you can very easily get through them all. So just make sure you have concentration up, make sure you have parry up, just so you can run through everything. I mean, it's even more ideal technically if you use parry level 1, unlike level 5, just for a little bit more defense. Honestly, you could probably be running through here with an Alice shield and do a little bit better defensively than I'm doing now. I just don't deem it necessary to do that. But I'll go ahead and make sure I have the malicious sword on. I'm going to go ahead and fully buff up. And you can see there's an odium right there. Observations can be obnoxious though, so oof, okay. Yep, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting myself into a position I can fight these things while also not having to deal with the odium. Okay, so, and this plasma is ghost type, so I switched to my AK Blood Eater when I do that. Okay, so now I just have to make the decision, depending on where he goes. If he moves up, I'll be able to run down this area and avoid it. If it moves to me, I'm probably going to have to fight it. So, probably going to have to fight it. Oof, this is some bad luck. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not doing very much damage to it. So, we're just going to go with the Vet Sword and go as crazy as we can with neutral, because it's the best I can do. And as you can see, he hits like a truck, even with the bone armor. And you can see it dropped nothing, so it was a weak fake one. And I didn't have parry up either. So what we have to do is we have to insert these charms in order from 3 o'clock over there for the first one. The second one is here. So kind of our goal is that we're actually just trying to run through this as quickly as we can. Avoid having to use too many items. So we got 3 of them. So we've inserted 3 of them, 4 of them. Now we take it a little simple because it's like, okay, you can see we have an odium there. And then we also have the last one up here. So I'm getting pretty lucky with my movement patterns. But you can also see there's the last odium is right there. So my goal is I need to get to the center while trying to avoid them. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, really good. So at this point, now we are at the roof. So I'm going to make sure I have an evil purple armor on. And then we had to type in Fragment of Hatred, specifically for odium. Then it will summon, and we will try to kill it as fast as humanly possible. As you can see, I had to spam a lot of pots for him, but he's dead. That's great. And he's the hardest one to have to kill in that scenario. So that's really good. Also note that unlike floors 7 through 12, you can actually fly wing on the roof, which will be very important because we might get caught up in situations and we need to try to avoid it. I think this is the Fragment of Agony. Yep. And then we just want to kill this thing very quickly. Awesome. And that's huge because it did not use decrease AGI on me. So I don't need to worry too much about rebuffing or anything. You can see my Endure, which technically it's from concentration, has like 15 seconds left. This is going to be the Fragment of Sorrow. Okay, it's not Sorrow, sorry. It's the Fragment of Misery. So I will rebuff up real quick just because need to. Okay. And then I'm sticking with the purple armor for these because you can see I'm still even missing hits at times. Worst case, he also can go invisible. You can just use Magnum Break to get him out of invisibility as an option without worrying about like a wrong sight item. So you can use Magnum Break. There's no issue with that. And then this is the Fragment of... Sorry, I think this is Sorrow? It's the red one. Sorry, Fragment of Despair. There you go. And then we'll try to kill him as quickly as we can. He's just like the other one. He has a lot of flee and AGI. And so Thanatos will summon you here, and now you have to try... Now you'll start fighting him here in a second. So very quickly, I'm just going to pop all my SP items. I'm going to make sure... I'm going to stick with purple armor to start, but we're going to very, very quickly swap to bone armor after a few bowling bashes, because he's going to summon right here, and we'll just take advantage of hitting him a few times. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. Okay, so he decided to instantly teleport, which is okay. But now I'm going to play it safe, make sure I have my buffs. But we are going to make sure we fight him with bone armor. And we're realistically only going to hit him with like a few bowling bashes, and we're just going to teleport away each time. Especially in that situation where I'm getting hit by Storm Gust, I don't really have much faith to do stuff, so I tend to drag him a little bit, hit him with a few, ooh, okay, fly wing away. Like, see how much damage they can do to you, not to mention that you saw that they decreased AGI'd me. It could be a bit painful, but we're essentially just repeating this until we kill him. And as we're fighting him, we'll also end up killing majority of the Thanatos monsters as we're doing this. Ooh, they are hidden like trucks. And he'll also, like, I actually didn't fly wing away there. He actually teleported me away with Intimidate. So it will happen. It's just, you'll get through the fight eventually. And we're just kind of hitting them down. Hitting a few of the guys. You can see I do a lot of damage to most of the ads, so it will be a little bit easier to survive as the ads are dying. It looks like the little marrow's down. And also you can see that the nice thing is you can get provoked at times. So you can see Thanatos is already down to about 84k from like the 480 is. But also the cool thing to note is now Thanatos is actually in holy armor. So I'm just going to switch to my vet sword, switch to cursed water. And now the cool thing is now we can fight him and actually get some heals from our bowling dashes. Okay, I was completely stuck. I might have been trapped by Odium and I didn't see it. But I wasn't doing any damage. But you can see, going ahead and trying to kill him. 30k, teleported me away. And now you can see it's just Thanatos and the Odium left. So we're just going to try to finish them off real quick. There we go, finished off, and that's it. And that is how you do Thanatos. Pretty simple. And then on this server, they usually drop armors. I got very unlucky with my drops. There we go. Never mind. But I got an armor, so I got the gray armor, and I got a few other things.